Consider this, the loft rental market, in San Francisco is in its very fledgling infancy stages. I got a place, 1.495, $1.3 million, $649,000. A lot of young couples. Two steady working people.
Where is the Mission? Is that close by here?
You shoot up 17th Street, and you just keep going until you get to Mission Street. You'll be a block from the hottest corner, 16th Valencia. Lots of cheap fashion and stuff to do. They got Oxygen Bar. I think they got the Oxygen Bar, and I love the Oxygen.
What's that?
It's a cool bar that doesn't serve any alcohol, but they serve these great teas and like these wacky drinks, and you can breathe oxygen.
Okay.
So that penthouse is $595, 1,100 square feet, and this penthouse is $649, 1,230 square feet.
It has become chic to be a part of the loft community.
$300,000 to $700,000, I believe, is the going rate. And they have a nice little description on their website of the mishmash neighborhood, where there's these interesting little neighborhood spots where you can get yummy ethnic food, but you could still go, and get your Starbucks too.
I'm a small business owner in the Northeast Mission. We moved into the neighborhood in August of '94. When we arrived, it was a very desolate, abandoned neighborhood. There was empty buildings and abandoned cars. Things started to get better when development started to turn up.
Depends who you talk to, right? People think, oh, this is a good neighborhood or this is a bad neighborhood. But good and bad often means rich and poor. And it often means white people and people of color. And poor people and people of color, we live in neighborhoods that are called bad neighborhoods.
There are a whole series of little businesses that are cropping up in the Mission to respond to the new people who are moving into the Mission or who have bought into the Mission. And the people who bought into the Mission, whether it's on Shotwell or Cap or any of those streets, are displacing families who voluntarily left. They're not being evicted.
When the mayor says we're going to clean up the neighborhood,
he mean clean it up. He mean clean it up.
What does that phrase mean?
It mean clean it up. It mean just what it say. He gonna clean up the neighborhood. He ain't said he wasn't gonna clean up. He was gonna end poverty. He didn't say he was gonna bring jobs, opportunities to the community, because he could have.
Yeah, that's what city governments tell us. That's what Willie Brown tells us. He's cleaning up the neighborhood. He's bettering the neighborhood. There's going to be, you're not going to have to see homeless people, and so the neighborhood's going to be clean. The reality is there's going to be homeless people. There's going to be more people without homes as a result of this so-called cleaning up. The thing is, you don't have to see it when you walk out of your door.
And now, all of a sudden, these neighborhoods have been cleaned up. And the residents who've had to live with the dope dealing, live through the crack epidemic, live through the shootings, are now being told, get out of here. What are you guys still doing here? But we made the neighborhood safe. We struggled through all of that, and now we have to go and maybe do it all over again in some other crappy neighborhood because we can't really afford to live in our own neighborhoods anymore.
Just a little story. Friday night, first time it ever happened. One of the guys was leaving my shop. He shot at the other guy, finishing a task. Let's meet at the brew pub after work. They've never done that before. They now feel comfortable in this neighborhood. It's a good neighborhood for my employees, my customers, and myself.
Through the creation of the Mission Anti-Displacement Coalition, I think what we saw was this coming together and a building of a coalition with all different people who normally would never have even been in a room together, but who found that they had this in common.
We have youth that are involved, we have have residents, tenants, we have a lot of different people that are involved in the mission, and as we can see, it keeps on growing, right? And as we see, as we keep on coming through, we keep on organizing, we keep on pushing the city and developers to bring justice to our neighborhood.
Es una organización que está haciendo mucho acción de protesta, haciendo marchas, caminatas, protestando donde las personas han tenido eviction.
It's a lot of non-profit folks, affordable housing developers, the people who provide health care to folks in this neighborhood, resources for seniors.
In the beginning, it was an ad hoc coalition, and it was mainly around the Armory project, Army on 14th and Mission, which was old National Guard Army. It's where they did their drills and stored some equipment, and they'd been vacant for decades.
The city has said, we don't want to use this for housing, we don't want to use this for nonprofit space, and then all of a sudden, it's taken away for the dot economy.
You're taking facilities that have not been utilized for 30, 40 years and finding somebody who comes into the city, wishes to invest and does invest, and turns it into a place where jobs can be created, turn it into a place where community can benefit, and that's what the Armory represents.
We're not displacing any businesses, we're not displacing any nonprofits, we're providing parking.
This is such a large project because it's like, I don't know, over 1,000 workers are going to be coming into this area. They're going to want to live in the area, and it's all higher income, probably young, predominantly white, because that's what we've seen so far.
And just simply by allowing offices in neighborhoods where people live, you basically cause massive displacement, because the people coming into the .com offices can afford huge rents compared to the people who already live in the neighborhood. And secondly, because the landlords rather replace their residential units with offices because they can make even more money that way.
A day before, someone tells us, hey, that the Armory's having like a grand opening party or something, right? And we're like, oh yeah, all right. No one told us about this party, but I guess we're gonna crash it.
You guys can go on and party, because we will be right outside every day until you guys are out, and we are here. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. And for all of you guys out there who didn't understand that, hell no, we won't go.
They shut this down, at least for a minute they shut it down. And they were able to take this stuff and put it in those folks' face.
Enjoy your little displacement party, because it ain't gonna last very long. And we will take it back, don't even worry about it.
Do you like this .com sort of revolution that's happening? Is it cleaning up the city, making it more livable, or is it bad
for a lot of... Change goes on all the time, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it's inevitable?
I think change is inevitable. Good change and bad change.
The idea that somehow all of the developments that are taking place in San Francisco are some sort of natural process that we can't do anything about by public policy is really absurd and flies in